So let's pull it little easy this time. What's up YouTube, welcome to the review of the Gixxer SF150. So unlike many other reviews, I haven't spent a lot of time on this motorcycle in the highway. Rather, I was spending a little more time inside the city because I feel this motorcycle is a very good city motorcycle as well as a beginner highway tourer. So let's get into the details about this. So I have to say that from the first look, it is a bit difficult to find it out whether it's a 250 or a 150 because the design is almost same, and I have to say that this looks pretty good. This headlight and this entire fairing setup, everything looks very nice. If you are looking to start with a 150cc sports motorcycle, I think you'll be having very less options. Say this is there, the SF150 is there, then the KTM RC125 is there, and the R15 version 3 is there. So compared to the other two motorcycles, this one is more relaxed riding, and this is not that aggressive also when compared to the R15, but a bit more powerful than the KTM RC125. So when we see the engine is like very stress-free, very relaxed motorcycle. It is very calm and quiet. It's refined and mainly tuned for the city use. So if you're someone who's looking for a very powerful motorcycle in the 150cc segment, then I'll say that R15 version 3 will be the good choice. You have to spend a little more money in going towards that. The positive side about the Gixxer SF is that this is more relaxed and more beginner friendly. So if you're someone who's upgrading from a scooter or you're just starting with your motorcycle expedition and all, then what I'll say that just start with something which is more easy to ride rather than starting with something very difficult. So the riding stance is not that aggressive. I'll just get onto the motorcycle. So when you sit on this, it's a pretty lower seat height motorcycle, not that much intimidating at all based on the seat height, and the riding posture is like a little bit sporty, that's all, not too much. And from this angle, I have to say that it is not that big as an SF250, that's my personal feel. From the outside, it looks almost like a SF250. If you are someone in my height, you will be very comfortable in riding this motorcycle. But if you are a little taller rider, then what I'll say that you will feel a little more sporty with your reach to the handlebars. So it's better to take a test ride before you commit on that. The footpeg is rightly below you. It's not forward set or rear set. The footpeg feels a little taller set, that's what I can say. And looking onto the handlebar, all pretty basic switches. It's like the engine kill switch, the ignition, the high beam and low beam pass switch, horn and indicator, that's all. And when we look onto the dial, everything is neat and clean, everything is readable. So this is the tachometer, this is the gear position indicator, the speedometer, odometer and 2 trip meters, and time and the fuel gauge, that's all. Everything basic. You don't have a side stand sensor or an indicator, that's all. That's what I see missing from the SF150, and these mirrors are giving good visibility. Okay, I have to say that I'm very much happy with it. So let's take out for a ride. So this sounds very silent. When you're riding at a speed of 80 to 90 on the highway, you really don't hear the engine sound at all. So it is that refined. So let's pull it little easy this time. So as you might have seen, the motorcycle is like decently powerful. It is not too much powerful, not underpowered. It's decently powerful, and the torque is there, the power is there in low and the mid RPMs. And when you really ring it to the heart, then you will get to know that the top end is a little saturated in the 5th gear. So the cruising speed on this motorcycle when it comes to these kind of a highway is like 80 to 90. I'm very much satisfied with that speed considering that it's a 150cc motorcycle. You can really push it a little more than 100. I could do a 118 top on this motorcycle, but you can really push it to 110 without much problem. So I have to say that this motorcycle is like very light. So when it comes to city riding, that's what I told. If you are a beginner, you won't find that much of an issue riding this motorcycle inside city. It's much lighter. But on the flip side, when you are taking this on the highway like this, the motorcycle doesn't have any stability issues like that. But if you are having crosswinds, then you will be facing a little bit of drift. So one another major thing you look for when you're taking a motorcycle for the city use is the clutch and the gearbox. So the clutch feel is neither too tight, neither soft also. The best part is the clutch play is not too much. You see that? So the clutch play is not too much. So even though you have to shift a lot inside the city, this won't be giving too much of pain on your left hand. And the gearbox is like very crisp, no false neutrals, everything perfect, but a little bit tight. That's my personal feel about it. But if you're using a shoe or a boot, then that's not a problem at all. And there wasn't much of a heating issue when I was riding this motorcycle inside city. And of course it is rainy season now, so the temperature is a bit lower, but the ground clearance and all those things are like just perfect. I didn't face any issues, and even when I was taking sharp U-turns and all, I felt that this motorcycle is very easy to ride. So in that sense, it's a perfect city riding motorcycle. And I forgot to mention one thing, the suspension on this motorcycle is like very soft and very relaxed. It is giving good comfort to the rider. You might have seen that all undulations on the road has been soaked up by the suspension, so absolutely no pressure to the rider. That's what I liked on this motorcycle. And looking onto the build quality and all, I really don't have anything to say less than excellent. So you can feel that everywhere. The only one issue which I face is which all SF owners are telling, is that the wind visor is a little smaller, so it could have been a little more bigger to give you a better wind protection. So when I look onto a sports touring motorcycle or a sports motorcycle in the segment, we really expect some amount of wind protection when we are out on the highway. I'm not getting that now. You might have seen that even at the speed of 70 km, I'm facing some wind issues. And the tires are giving good confidence, no issue with it. And when it comes to the braking department, I'll say that the brakes are good. In fact, very good for a beginner. It is not at all intimidating. The brakes are progressive. This is the right kind of brake that you really need on a 150cc motorcycle. And altogether, let's see who can look onto this kind of a motorcycle. So if you're someone who's upgrading from a scooter, or you're just starting out of nowhere, then I'll say that this is a very good motorcycle to start with, because it's much relaxed considering the other sports motorcycle, and you can trust on the reliability of this engine from Suzuki. And this is not that too powerful. So I have to say that if you're looking for complete powerful motorcycle, you have to go for the R15 version 3. But RC125 is way different. It is not that powerful, but it is very aggressive to ride. But this is a middle ground of it. This is not that aggressive in terms of ergonomic and in terms of engine also. And if you are someone who is upgrading from a 150cc motorcycle, I'll probably say that try looking for something bigger if you want a little more engagement in the throttle. Or say if you're really riding a 150cc for 10 or 15 years, or you just want to replace your 150cc, then look for it. But if you're really riding a 150cc motorcycle and you want a bit more power in a new motorcycle, then I'll say that look for the SF250, not the 150. A little bigger than this, but it has good juice from the engine. And definitely these kind of motorcycles are not meant for off-roading. And the tires are not at all giving grip, because I've taken it to slash and I can really feel the drift when I was riding through the slash. And it's a sports motorcycle, it's not an off-road purpose motorcycle. And yeah, I forgot to mention one more thing. So if you want a city motorcycle which has a good pillion comfort also, then also this is a good motorcycle, because the pillion comfort is also good. The pillion footpeg is a little forward set. If you are not having a taller pillion, then definitely no problem. But if you are having a taller pillion, then I'll say that take your pillion along with you when you go for the test ride and get a feel on the motorcycle. And if you are taking this motorcycle on the highway, then also I'll say that this is a very good motorcycle as a beginner, because 80 km is what you need if you are starting for tours and all. That's what you can expect from a 150cc also. A couple of years back, I was also touring on a 150cc, and my sweet speed was 80 to 90. So in that way, the cruise speed is good, and the refinement in the speed is like absolutely brilliant. I have no complaints about it. You can have your saddlebags if you want. You can tie a tank bag here. In that sense, it is a good beginner tourer also. So when it comes to the pricing and all, this comes on road 1.63 lakh in Bangalore, and if you're looking for the naked version of it, it is 1.51 lakh. And this motorcycle goes for service once in 3,500 km and will cost you somewhat like 1.2k. And one more thing I have to say, that if you're someone from Bangalore and you are already having a Suzuki Gixxer, try visiting 9-Star Suzuki, because nowadays they are having an app-based booking for their service and all. It is almost like a doctor appointment. You book a time and you go there, so you have absolutely 100% social distance. So you can check it out if you're from Bangalore. And as per owners, this motorcycle is giving a mileage of 45 to 50, which is very decent for this kind of a segment. And if you're really out on the highway and you're just trying to be on 60 to 70, then probably I feel you'll be getting a mileage of around 60 km even. But I'll always suggest to stick to the 80 km mark on this kind of highway, because that's safe. So that's it with this quick video on the SF150. So if you have any doubts on this motorcycle, do let me know in the comment section. I'll be replying to you if I know that. And I hope this video is helpful for you, and as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye.